The Pokemon Company hates small businesses, they hate LGSs, and they love big box retail. Hey guys, what's going on? Black Market Poke Show here, back with another video for y'all today. So today, just want to remind you about the giveaway. No subscribers in the last couple weeks or so, but once we hit 50 subscribers, we'll give the Black Kira Melmetal EX box away with 4 packs of Surging Sparks and 4 packs of Twilight Masquerade. Give it away for free, along with the Milotic full art and the Slack Off illustration rare you see here. And today we are going to talk about something big for the Pokemon market. 3 days ago, the Pokemon Company International entered into an agreement to acquire the Excell brands. So, what is Excell brands? Actually, first, let's read just a little bit of the excerpt here on the Pokemon Company press page. So, the Pokemon Company International today announced that it has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Excell Brands, a leading U.S. distributor and category management service provider of trading cards and collectibles. This transaction is expected to close subject to regulatory approvals and customary closing conditions. The acquisition builds on a relationship spanning decades. During that time, Excell Brands has become the Pokemon Company's International's largest distribution partner in the US, and the companies have worked closely together, developing deep respect for each other's cultures and the trust they have earned across the industry. This reflects our long term commitment to supporting the Pokemon community and broader trading card ecosystem. Excell Brands has built a strong reputation as a trusted distributor and category management partner for their customers with deep insight into the needs of Pokemon fans. So it goes on talk about how excited they are and all this stuff and whatnot. So what does this really mean? It can mean a few different things depending on the market space that we find ourselves in by the time, the Millennium Print Group new facility that Pokemon Company just bought, by the time that's up and running, combined with this Excell acquisition, it can mean a few different things just depending on what the market is like at that time. So the first thing you have to understand uh, is that the Excell Brands is not a distributor for local gaming stores, LGSs. So this directly does not affect LGSs, but indirectly it will have some sort of effect for the good or for the bad, and we'll go into that in a little bit here. But what does that mean in general with the two acquisitions between Millennium and Excell? Well, Millennium, they're going to start pumping out cards, pumping out Pokemon products, and now essentially Pokemon Company International has eliminated a middleman, and they're able to take that increased supply from the Millennium Print Group and pump it out into the big box retail stores and flood the market easier at MSRP, and they will be able to ensure that there is more product available, especially to customers, younger customers like kids when they go into Target and whatnot. And so there'll be a lot more product available widely at MSRP. So just with a quick search over to PokeBeach, PokeBeach gives us a little bit more of an insight to the partners that Excell works with. Essentially, they work with a lot of the major big box retail stores. This includes Target, Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, CVS, Walgreens, and more. And just as a side note, they don't just distribute Pokemon, but they do Magic, Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, and One Piece as well. So from somebody that just likes to casually enjoy the Pokemon hobby, this, at the very surface level especially, looks like a good thing. With the product being controlled more exclusively by the Pokemon Company International, that means that they will be able to control the pricing a little bit more because they own the distribution company that is selling the products to these big box retail stores. And when the Pokemon company has control over one distribution, they are able to make sure that that price is guaranteed MSRP or close to guaranteed MSRP at these big box retail stores. That puts pressure on the other distributors like MJ Holdings to sell their product, especially like on the second and third waves as the more product trickles onto the market, when generally prices are raised up a bit above distribution costs and are sold more closely to market price. That will This will force MJ Holdings and all those other distribution companies to lower their prices at least a little bit. It will push the market price down at least a little bit, especially initially, so that these other distribution companies would have to sell that at a lower price, and then thus guaranteeing or at least helping us get more Pokemon product at a more closer price to MSRP. So, at a surface level, this seems like a very good thing for the casual hobby enjoyer, the Pokemon hobby enjoyer. But what could be a possible downside? Now, I'm not saying that this could happen, or I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm saying it could happen. But what happens is so now the Millennium Print Group is pumping cards out left, right, and center, and they're pumping them all to these big box retail stores. Well, now the distribution companies already don't have enough product to distribute to all of these different LGSs and everything. There's not enough product to go around. People are getting a tenth or half a tenth or whatever of the product that they were used to getting in a downturn market. And so to make a profit, because they're not making $10 on 1,000 boxes, they're making $50 on 10 boxes, right? So overall, they do make less money from this. Um, Now that is going to exacerbate that issue for LGSs. LGSs are going to get less product because more of this product is going to big box retail shelves, and that product will be widely available at MSRP, meaning people will forego going to the LGSs and get their product at MSRP at places like Target and Walmart and Barnes and Noble and whatnot. So now not only will the LGSs be left with less product, but they won't be able to mark up their product to a place where they'll be able to make enough profit per product to keep the lights on in their brick and mortar stores. The caveat to that point or statement that I made just now, though, is that demand remains kind of at the same level that it is right now. If demand starts to move up or even just stays nice and high, those products that are available at MSRP, they might just be bought out right away, and people will again be forced to the secondary market to buy their cards with a markup. Now, if there's more product, there's more supply on the market, that markup might not be as dramatic as we see it right now, but still there's a chance that it could be marked up to that point where LGSs might be able to make a little bit of profit still on the less product that they've been getting from distribution. However, the more likely scenario is that demand right now is at an all-time high, and so when you're at an all-time high, it's more likely that demand over time is going to decrease, especially where because a lot of the demand comes from the people that are opportunist. They see that the price is MSRP, they buy the MSRP, but the market price is double that. They go in, they buy that, they flip it for double. The part of the demand on the market right now is from the profit making part of the hobby. And so if you eliminate that profit making part of the hobby, demand will go down. And when demand goes down, you're going to see more product available at these big box retail stores at MSRP, and then we'll go back into the bull market like a few years ago, where booster boxes are lower prices and whatnot. And so that's, again, it's a good thing for the person that just wants to enjoy the hobby. But if you are a private business owner working in this space, it's not a good thing, because now you have way less product than Target. You have way less product than Walmart and all those other people, because the Pokemon Company owns the distribution group that is places, uh, sending these places product. They are getting them for way cheaper, so they can put them on these big deals. They can make money from them, Black Friday deals, or they can, you know, 2-for-1 type of things back like in the old days. They can put this product, but you know what? the the LGSs, they're not getting these good distribution prices, and so they have 10 boxes and they have to sell them for MSRP. They're making their little cut on MSRP, and they're not going to make enough to stay on the market, to keep their lights on, to pay their employees. And so what that's just going to do is, this now is just pushing all the consumers to big box retail stores and cutting out all the smaller businesses, which essentially is the American dream. So all these big corporate companies, billion-dollar companies, are going to slowly but surely squeeze out these smaller companies. That might not affect the bigger LGSs, the ones that get thousands and thousands of boxes every release, but definitely the smaller one. The smaller ones, people are not going to be able to sell the product fast enough. They're not going to make enough margin on their product, and that is going to weed out these smaller businesses, these smaller companies that only get a little bit of product. They're not going to be able to stay open, so those people will have to shut up shop, and go away. Now, so that will alleviate the backlog in the wait list for distribution. Um, but who will eat up that product is the bigger LGS places, and again, we will be turning down into a bear market. Now, when will that be? I'm not 100% sure, but this is definitely a step in a direction where a bear market is going to be coming, at least for the products that are brand spanking new. This could be a good time then, if you are overcapitalized, or if you have enough capital and you're not undercapitalized. This would be a good time if you can stick things out for a little while. You just wait the next year or two, and you might have a clear picture, a clear direction to getting significant distribution access as the market turns into a bear market. So it might be a good time to get some liquid cash, and make sure that if you are a business owner in in this market, to get some capital, so that you can continue to build up your allocation. You can get distribution access and then build up your access right away, um, and then just hold on to it, or try to function, at the minimum capacity to stay up and running. And then once the bear market is over, you are set up with this huge distribution access again. So that time is coming. I don't know if it's the next year or if it's the next 2 years, but this could be an opportunity for other people. But again, that comes at the expense of people that are undercapitalized in the LGS space, who will have to close up shop and go away. Overall, guys, this is just my best guess. I'm not saying that this stuff is definitely going to happen. It's just based on my personal experience in life and what I've seen happen in the past. We have never had the Pokemon Company buy two major groups like this, the Millennium Print Group and Excel, pretty much back to back. And so this is going to be uncertain times in the hobby, and overall, the long-term health of the Pokemon card market is almost all but guaranteed right now, with Pokemon investing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into acquiring these companies. A company doesn't do that unless they are bullish on their long-term prospects. They are planning for the future. They're planning for growth, and overall, that is a good thing for anybody who likes to collect Pokemon cards or invest in the sealed product. That being said, I appreciate you guys listening to my video, listening to me rant. I just want to emphasize the giveaway again. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and tune in to my next video, and we will have some fun. Black Market Poke Show out. Peace.